Imagine standing before a mountain so high, so unforgiving, that it decides who lives and who dies. In a small, forgotten village in India, people were trapped behind stone and distance. A mountain stood like a cruel wall, separating them from hospitals, schools, and opportunities. And because of that mountain, countless lives were lost. But one man armed with nothing but a hammer and a chisel decided to fight back. For 22 years he carved through that mountain, alone. This is not a legend. This is the true story of Dashrath Manjhi, the man who turned impossible into possible. Dashrath Manjhi was born in 1934 in Galar village of Bihar, India. His family was poor, belonging to the lowest caste in society, the Musahar community. Life was harsh, opportunities rare. From a young age, Dashrath knew what it meant to suffer. There were days when food was scarce and survival itself was a daily battle. Yet, even in poverty, there was love. He grew up, fell in love with a woman named Falguni Devi, and together they dreamed of a simple, peaceful life. Their village was small, isolated, surrounded by rocky terrain. To reach the nearest town, one had to travel over 70 kilometers around the mountain, and for villagers without resources, this meant suffering in silence. One tragic day changed everything. Falguni Devi, Dashrath's wife, was carrying food for him while he worked in the fields. The path was dangerous, and she slipped while crossing the mountain's rocky slopes. Badly injured, she needed urgent medical care, but the nearest hospital was far away. To reach it, villagers had to walk through miles of mountain terrain. By the time Dashrath carried his bleeding wife across the cruel rocks, it was too late. Falguni Devi died in his arms. That mountain had taken the woman he loved most. For many, it would have been the end of hope. For Dashrath, it was the beginning of an impossible fight. That night, Dashrath sat by the mountain, holding his hammer and chisel. His eyes burned with tears, but his heart burned with determination. He said to himself, "If this mountain stands between my people and their lives, then I will tear it apart with my own hands." The villagers laughed. Some called him mad. Others pitied him. One man against a mountain, impossible. But Dashrath simply replied, "When you have lost everything, you have nothing left to fear." And so, day after day, under the scorching sun and pouring rain, Dashrath Manjhi began his work. With nothing more than a hammer, a chisel, and his bare hands, he attacked the mountain. The sound of metal striking rock echoed across the valley. Thok, 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 dust filled the air. Stones split and fell. His hands blistered and bled, but still, he continued. Villagers mocked him. "Dashrath has lost his mind," they said. But he kept carving. When his hands could not hold the hammer, he wrapped them with cloth and kept striking. When his body grew weak from hunger, he ate roots and leaves and kept striking. When loneliness surrounded him, he spoke to the mountain as if it were his enemy. "You killed my wife, but you will not kill my people." Year after year, the mountain slowly began to break. 10 years passed, then 15. Still, he struck the rock. People who once laughed now began to watch in silence. His madness looked like purpose, his stubbornness like destiny. After 22 years of relentless struggle, the impossible happened. Dashrath Manjhi had carved a 360, 30-foot wide passage through the mountain. The road reduced the distance to the nearest town from 70 kilometers to just 15 kilometers. For the first time, villagers could reach hospitals in time, children could walk to schools, and farmers could take their produce to the market. The mountain that once symbolized death now became a road of life, carved by the hands of one ordinary man with extraordinary willpower. The world called him the Mountain Man. But to his people, he was a savior. Dashrath Manjhi's story is not just about breaking rocks, it is about breaking limits. It is about refusing to bow before tragedy, and instead, turning pain into power. His life whispers to all of us, when the world tells you it is impossible. Remember Dashrath Manjhi. Remember the man who carved a mountain with his bare hands. Never give up, because persistence turns the impossible into possible. Thank you for watching this story of courage, love, and determination. If Dashrath Manjhi's journey inspired you, then share it with someone who needs hope. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts, because sometimes, one story can change a life.